You may have heard the term gearing when people talk about investment properties and they talk about the cash flow. But do you know the difference between negative gearing, neutral gearing, positive cash flow, and positive gearing? Because if you don't and you buy a property and you have to find that out later, you could be in a world of pain because that could impact on your personal cash flow that affects your lifestyle and puts pressure on your whole circumstances. So what's the difference? Negative gearing is a property where basically the rent does not cover the mortgage, and once you add the expenses of running that property on, could be your strata, your insurances, your property management fees, all those types of things, you're negative. And even when you get your tax deductions back from depreciation and those expenses through tax, you're still negative. And you could be tens or $20,000 negative per year, and that's got to come out of your after-tax dollars. That's the property that, even though you might say I'm buying for growth into the future, if it costs you 10 or 20 grand a year, and that's after-tax dollars, even if it goes up in value, in equity, doesn't mean that your position will be better. In actual fact, it could be more pressure. Now, neutrally geared is slightly different. That's a situation where, again, your rental return does not cover your repayments and the cost of the expenses to run the property. But once you factor in your deductions you get from depreciation and interest and those other expenses, it does give you a refund. And that brings you back to a position where after tax, your cash flow is about even. They cancel each other out. So that's a better position to be in than certainly negative gearing. But the next one beyond that is obviously positive cash flow. That's generally where you're getting a higher cash flow return, a higher yield, but even after that, you'll have your tax deductions will be slightly positive in cash flow, but you're still going to have some costs. In other words, your rent is covering your mortgage, but you're still going to have to cover those expenses out of your own pocket. Now, the one that's obviously the ultimate goal would be positively geared, because that's when literally your rental return is higher, and that will cover that'll cover all your interest and all your expenses, and I need to put money in your pocket. Now, there is strategies that will do that in today's market, safe strategies on new properties with great deductions and great cash flow, but most people don't know about it because most people are being sold the story that you just buy a brand new 4-bedroom house and accept a negative geared scenario and hope for capital growth in the future. Now, bottom line is, what I don't like is I don't control the future. I want to make my money now and make sure it's not affecting my life. So if that resonates with you guys and you want to learn more about that, jump onto my longer video I've put up on my Facebook page and learn more, because being a sharp investor means you're educated, you make informed decisions, you can't be ripped off, and you can basically set yourself up much more securely for the future. Thanks, guys.